Hey guys, welcome back to
Lifestyle
of the Plebe and Nameless. I'm Joan.
And I'm Coco. And this is Bunny. Say hi, Bunny.
Today we are reviewing the latest K-drama called Snowdrop that stars Jisoo from Blackpink and Joan, the most handsome Korean actor that I know of.
Before we get started, we want to make a disclaimer that we do understand there's currently backlash going on with what is portrayed on the show.
Even though we're not Korean, we do understand and sympathize with those who rightly have concerns.
Moving forward, we wish to review this drama as a work of fiction, a K-drama, but we do want you to know that we are not insensitive to what's currently going on.
Without further ado, we'll get started with the review.
Episode 1 starts with an introduction of the characters. Basically, they hint at the tension that's going on, and there's a lot of tension. Alright, the opening sequence. What did you think of that?
Whenever I was watching it, it made me feel like I time traveled and I was like in that setting.
Actually, I got Bridgerton vibes. I don't know if anyone else did, and I thought, ooh, Korean Bridgerton.
Like cutting to different scenes.
And the colors and the music going on, and it looks really happy.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if we butchered the names because we're not Korean, but Yoonro, Kim Jisoo's character, we get to meet her. I was kind of happy that the producers didn't make us wait to meet her. I'm a mini bling.
What do you think of her performance?
Oh, I was actually so shocked that she did such a good job.
Was this her first show?
I think it's her first big role. I thought she was a great actress.
If you didn't tell me this was her first big role, like I wouldn't have noticed. I think she did a good job.
Yeah, she fitted in perfectly with all the other big name actresses and actors. In that cafeteria scene where her roommate had that book exposed that she was trying to hide, Yoonro was such a quick thinker. She was like, oh, let me pick that up and play it off.
I feel like she's super sympathetic. Tries to look after everyone's feelings.
Yeah, like she got your back. I think she's a good friend.
That phone girl, everyone doesn't like her that much.
She's abrasive. I can see why people don't like her.
Jisoo's character kind of like sees through past that and tries to befriend her while everyone else is trying to stay away from her.
Yeah, but let's hope that doesn't turn around and bite her in the butt.
The show introduces us to the Korean CIA, the character called Black Tiger, who's in a hunt for a communist spy. We also are introduced to Hana.
She's like boss lady. That's what she's trying to act like.
She's very fierce.
She shot at him. Man, this is how you apply for a job?
She's like, I want in on this job. It seems like they had known each other before, but they don't want to talk about it.
No, they play it off like, I don't know you. We do finally get introduced to Suho. I was like, ooh, they made Joan wait. They made her wait half an hour for that one.
They did. I was like, when is he showing up?
See, I got Jisoo from the beginning, so.
Everyone's watching this show, like, for Jisoo, but I've been a longtime fan of Joan. He's super charismatic. He has a K-drama male lead face.
What did you think when he showed up with the grad students?
He just naturally stands out because I didn't pay attention to the other guy at all.
There were other guys.
I didn't notice. The girls were like fawning over him, and I was like, yes, that's me.
That's her.
He was very interested in meeting Professor Han.
I didn't understand whose side.
Which side was which.
Professor Han.
I think during this time, Korea was under one party.
The political authoritarian dictator?
Yes, called the Democratic Justice Party.
Yes.
And in the show, they're referring to the other party, just the opposing party.
Okay, so presumably then the people opposing the authoritarian government would be people who are pro-democracy and want an elected official.
Yes.
So I'm guessing that's what Professor Han represents. But how does River go into this? River's trying to kidnap him and...
See, that's the part where I'm confused.
That's what I'm confused too.
I guess it's not very easy for the viewers to understand the KCIA. What is their ultimate goal?
Then we come to the curfew scene where all the girls have to make it back before 9 o'clock.
That part was so funny.
It was so funny. All this is going on and Singer Girl is being proposed to in the streets.
At first she was like, nah, and then she turns around, I'll just grab the ring.
I would grab the bling. You can keep the flowers, but I'm taking the bling. So was that like accepting his proposal? Is she engaged now?
But later on, we find out that she's going to like
a group date.
A group date.
So I was very confused. And then Yunro, she got her package from her grandmother. She's running and trying to get back into the dorm.
Can we talk about how she climbs up?
I felt so bad for her. I was like, oh my god, this girl's gonna fall to her death in the first episode.
I couldn't have. If I was late, I was just gonna be late.
Well, what happens when you're late?
I think out of the 4 people in their dormitory, if there's like a certain number of times where they don't show up for roll call, they all get kicked out.
So it's like a collective punishment. She doesn't want all her other friends to be punished with her. That's a good system, I guess. Next, we come to the phone calling scene.
That one was so funny.
Like, this girl from the dorm just kisses the phone after talking on it.
She's like trying to show off that she has a boyfriend.
Yeah, but that was so disgusting. Like, don't be
was.
kissing and putting your germs on a communal phone. Then we have the guy that just passed his exams, cold calling the girls' dorm, asking for a date with girls he's never met.
I felt like that was just out of nowhere. I don't know if that's how people did it back then.
I don't think so.
It was so awkward and so funny.
It was so bold.
And the girls, too, they were actually excited about it, too.
Yes! Maybe that's how dating was done. You just cold call like a telemarketer.
It's like, let's meet at 3 p.m. at this cafe.
Yeah, group date. No pressure.
What was funny was, like, both sides were missing one person.
Yes. Both sides didn't know that, so they didn't want to miss out the opportunity. Well, you only got 3. Okay, what about room 206?
The phone girl was quick, though. She's like, I want in on it.
Yeah, that phone girl is so opportunistic. I really don't get a good vibe from her.
At the group date, to pick partners, they were going to choose, like, a specific object.
Yes, the item. Okay, what is the item? Is that a thing, too?
It was just an interesting way to, like, pick a partner to go on a date with.
Yeah, you don't just pick them based on what you look like or your personality. You pick based on the item you put on the table.
Phone girl went and like stalked on the 2 guys.
Yeah, she's sneaky.
That was creepy. I was almost hoping that like after that scene they like would have switched objects.
Oh, that would have been so funny.
I was expecting that, but it didn't happen. So the guys are just there at the cafe waiting and waiting. The girls just walk in randomly.
And the matchsticks get knocked over. And then you come to this cute scene where Yuro and Suho stare into each other's eyes. And you can instantly see the electricity.
Yes, sparks.
I thought that was done really well. I was like, oh, that boy is in love. He likes what he sees. And when you talk about the clothes too, like what was the guy that just passed the exam, what was he wearing?
I loved it. It was Christmas style.
Christmas style.
It was very fitting for the season.
I don't think he was dressing for the season. I think he was just dressing for 80s. I do like the clothes that the girls wore, but not that suit that he was wearing.
The guy fashion was a bit lacking.
Yeah.
The singer girl picks up his exam.
Yeah, because that's what she was there for.
He's like, this is my first exam. And then all the girls are like, oh.
Yeah, they look kind of disappointed.
It's only your first.
Well, no, because what if you don't pass the next one? Like, she wanted a sure thing because she already had a proposal. So she needs to know that this is good enough to dump the proposed guy for. So since Phone Lady picked up the paper airplane, which was Suho's item, they supposedly went about on their date. Next thing we know, we see Suho in a bookstore and Yuro is there too, and she's jamming.
Yeah, she's jamming to this song and she's saying, one-way ticket. One-way ticket.
That was so cute. And Suho saw her and he was very tickled.
As with everyone else in the bookstore.
Except for her, who was mortified.
I guess they were both a little bit surprised.
Yeah, they were supposed to be each on their respective dates.
Turns out they weren't interested.
Well, no.
Because
who would be interested in Phone Girl? She's atrocious. Then she didn't have money to buy the cassette tape that she wanted, the one-way ticket. So he buys it for her.
That's their item now.
That's their item, the cassette tape.
He comes across a group of cops who are searching for someone, so he tries to hide or walk away.
I guess that's the first sense of my red flags kind of went up, like, oh, why is he trying to hide from the police? What does he have to be scared of? So maybe he's not just a university student after all. So he goes into a little alley.
And she comes and she's like, yo, here's the tape. But then she also sees the cops coming around too.
Yeah, she notices that he was very nervous around the cops. She immediately thought, oh, okay, maybe he was a protester and the police are hunting down protesters. She's just a fast thinker, like with the cafeteria scene and then this again.
So she pretended that they were
lovers,
a couple.
Having a lover's quarrel.
Yes. And at the end,
they hugged.
I know they hugged. He was like, oh, it's okay.
I like the hug, but then I didn't understand the whole pat pat. Pat pat makes it casual. I was like, why is he like, they're there?
I think he was trying to be a gentleman.
I thought it would have been better if it was a hug without the pat pat.
I loved the scene a lot.
She wishes that was her. I thought it was so funny that Suho tells Yumro, you could be an actress, but not a singer. That was like a tongue-in-cheek comment because she's Jisoo.
So she takes the tape. Mm-hmm. She says, I'll repay you somehow, and she asks him, like, on a counter date.
Yeah, she asks him on a date. She's so bold. I mean, did girls do that back in the 80s? Probably not much. I think it's more like the guy has to make the move.
But I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
I was like, yeah, you go get that, girl. So then at the cafe, when she's waiting for him to show up for their date, she's building her matchsticks just like he was. Where are all these matchsticks from? Does everybody just have a bajillion matchsticks sitting around?
Is it a thing? You know, like a table of cards that they put there, but it's like a table of matchsticks.
Everyone just plays with matchsticks at a cafe. He doesn't show up.
That was sad. But I feel like I kind of expected it.
But why doesn't he show up? I don't think they ever explained it.
Maybe because he has like a mysterious background, so he can't get too involved with girls.
That was so sad. Then at the end, after that, we see like 6 months later and people are after him. So Suho is not who we think he is. There's definitely something going on. So is he a bad guy?
River number 1.
Do you think Suho is River?
I think so.
So that's it for episode 1. Let's move on to episode 2. So episode 2 opens with, did you see the little Squid Game crossover? The honeycomb. I just thought that was a cool little nugget in there.
Now, every time international viewers see it, they're just like, oh, Squid Game.
Yeah, I'm a big Squid Game. Because that's all I know about the honeycomb. I've never eaten it myself.
Starting at the beginning of episode 2, the Korean CIA agents, they were barging into the women's dormitory looking for Suho.
The reason the agents gave the headmistress was that we're looking for a North Korean spy.
And the headmistress was not having it. She basically made an announcement to all of the girls in the dorm to close your doors. Do not let anyone.
That was kind of funny. I was like, ooh. This woman means business. She's like, oh yeah, I can play your game.
So we have that scene going on, and then all of her roommates come back to her dorm and be like, yo, what's going on? And then they see a man on the floor with blood.
Yeah, who might be dead.
Jisoo's character was like, yo, we gotta save him. He's a pro-democratic activist.
Who's being wrongly accused by the KCIA. And her roommate who was at the protest that evening, I'll call her protester girl, she's like jumping into action with Yumro saying, oh yeah, we gotta save him, because she can sympathize with him.
She was probably very excited too.
She's like, yes, he's one of us. They kind of all band together for the common cause, and I thought it was so nice to see that.
And they were so brave too.
Yeah, it was girl power time.
So eventually the agents, they were following the blood prints.
There was a lot of them.
Yes. Because he climbed up. I was so surprised.
Yeah.
He was wounded so bad. He got
Was
shot.
he shot?
Yes, he was shot in the back.
Okay, but how did he not have to go to the doctor? What about the bullet that's in him?
Yes, and he managed to like climb up to get into the dorm.
That part was a little unbelievable. I was like, you got shot, dude.
Eventually, the agents found their way to their dorm, 207.
The headmistress notices a little blood print on the floor that they missed, and she knows there's something going on.
In a way, the headmistress was trying to help the girl. She didn't want the agents to find out.
That kind of made me like the headmistress more.
That did. That was a turning point.
At first, I thought she was like a witch with a B.
Oh, like that mean lady from Harry Potter?
The one that Umbridge. Yes,
she kind of
Professor Umbridge vibe.
The scene switches to the bathhouse. The three of the girls are there, and they believe that that was the safest spot to hide Suho.
They put him inside their bench.
So the agents come to the bathhouse. They had the woman agent, Hana, and she's like, I'm gonna go in there because I'm a woman. To me, that was like the climax of the first 2 episodes.
They had that blood coming out on the floor.
I was so scared. I was like, if her gaze just shifted downwards, like she would have noticed it.
I don't know how she didn't notice it.
Me too. I was like, yo, she's for sure gonna see it.
Because she's kind of tall and she's looking down at the girls who are sitting. I thought they were done for.
But she walks away without Suho in hand. Youngro and her roommates try to situate him so that Suho is hidden. So they end up hiding him in this closet in the bathroom. And I think one of the parts, he's like, how am I gonna repay you?
And she said, it's for the tape.
Yo, if it was me, I'd be like, be my boyfriend.
Joan would just straight up say it.
I mean, that was like the best opportunity. He asked for it. How can I pay you?
But you don't even know this guy. You would just be like, yes, be my boyfriend. The dude stood you up 6 months ago. And he shows up all bloody in your room. Half dead. And you're like, yes, be my boyfriend?
But apparently she was still thinking about him.
But he never even explained why he stood her up.
But now she thinks she knows. Because she thinks that he's an activist.
So she probably made up some story in her head of why this guy stood her up.
Yeah, whenever you start to like someone, you make excuses for them.
Yeah, I guess we all have this guy who we just bend over backwards and do everything for. No matter what, right?
Maybe. So the girls are like, we need to find a better place to hide him.
Yeah, because he can't stay in the closet of a girl's bathroom forever.
And one of the girls was like, we can hide him in that room on the 4th floor where nobody goes into. But the girls are like, well, it's locked. How can we get it open?
And it's haunted. The previous headmistress passed away there.
So Youngro, she goes and asks for help from the old mechanical guy.
He warns the girls that the phone lady is not to be trusted.
Because she's been eagerly helping out the agents trying to find him.
Yeah, because she wants that money.
In the process of transferring Suho into that haunted room,
we see phone lady strutting about in some crazy getup of an outfit.
Yes, and we find out that none of those things belong to her.
She stole them.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's why she didn't want them to like peek into her room. Like whenever they opened the door, she was just like a little bit.
That's probably what it is. She's bad news.
Very bad. I don't like her now.
I didn't like her ever since she picked that paper airplane. That was wrong.
So they were able to get past her. They situated him there.
And we come to Joan's favorite scene.
Oh yeah, so he's wounded. Youngro has to
tend to his wounds. Be the nurse.
And, you know, in order to tend to your wounds, you gotta take off your shirt. I was like waiting for it too. And then whenever they showed it, I was like, yes. This is what I'm here for. Just kidding, but it was a good scene. I liked it. I think all of his fans appreciated that scene.
I would say I did not avert my eyes during that scene.
He had a very nice body.
We both liked what we saw.
It was good eye candy. But then again, I was like, that bullet's still in him. They need to get that bullet out.
That's what I still don't understand. The next morning, Yunro and her roommate goes and gets food for Suho.
I thought it was so cute. They were so prepared for it too. They had like a backpack to make sure that they could put all the food in there, and then different outfits so they could go multiple times.
That was funny when the cafeteria ladies were like, you think we don't know? We're on to you. You've been here already this morning.
She brings all that stuff up to his room and she starts unloading. And that was so funny because she's like, I brought you some food. And the guy's like, oh, okay. And then she just keeps on taking out more and more snacks, and he's like,
there's a buffet.
Yes.
In front. During the scene, he actually mentions comrade, and that word kind of made me think like, oh my goodness, he might be a North Korea spy, because that's what they call each other, comrades. Mm-hmm. And he caught himself and quickly changes it to friend, my friend. So I was like, ooh.
She changes to dressing.
But then he goes and puts his bloody shirt back on.
I know,
and I'm
that
like,
was weird.
Okay, girl brings you all this supply. She even brings you, like, toilet paper and a tea kettle and towels. She couldn't have brought him some new clothes? Like,
She missed
what?
out the important part.
Yes, he still has to put on his bloody shirt. Okay.
She notices that he wears his necklace, and it's like a bird.
Like a bird, yeah.
It's like a bird. And she's like, ooh, interesting necklace. And she's trying to find out, ooh, who gave you this necklace?
Yeah, she goes fishing.
I mean, she's obviously interested in him and wants to know if he's taken.
He doesn't say anything. Since he doesn't really say, she just believes that he has a girlfriend. And you immediately see her face just drop. And she loses all the peppiness. And she's like, oh, well, I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta report to right.
But I don't see why she's already giving up hope, because it's not over until you say I do.
Maybe back then necklaces mean everything.
Apparently rings don't, but necklaces do.
do.
Then, in the next scene, all the misunderstandings are cleared up. Because Yoonro finds out that the necklace is from his sister. And we also find out that he really is a North Korea spy. I was shocked.
Whenever I saw that scene, it kind of brought back Crash Landing on You vibes a little bit to me. I mean, even
But
though...
it's the other way around.
Yeah, it's the other way around where they're trying to hide him instead of in Crash Landing on You.
Yeah, but in Crash Landing, she accidentally landed in North Korea. He's not accidentally landing in South Korea. He's there for a reason.
I agree, but it kind of just brought back feelings of that because one's from the north and then one's from the south. Love story. How is this going to work out?
Yeah.
After she finds out that the necklace is from his sister, she kind of like...
Is peppy again.
Yeah, she's like, okay, I can treat you as I did earlier.
You can be my love interest.
I think she accidentally spilled something on him because she was like super excited and she has to go like wash it off. She opened up the faucet and as the water was draining, it leaked downstairs to the head girl that was studying. The water was dropping from the ceiling onto her book.
She was like, ghosts use water?
Question mark?
So then you think, oh my goodness, she's gonna rat them out.
I know, I was like, shoot, no. The head girl goes to the headmistress trying to tell her like, yo, something's up with that room upstairs. And then the phone girl's like, whoa, what's going on here? I want in on this gossip too. So she's like listening onto the door, trying to see what's going on. They both come out of the room.
And phone girl tries to play it off like she wasn't snooping at all.
They go ask for the old mechanic who has the keys. So they go charging up there. As they were approaching that door, the man, he was like coughing so hard, like a little bit too hard to notify Suho and Yoonro that they're coming. Hide. I don't know if they can hide or not. They open the locks into the door and that's how the episode ends.
Big cliffhanger. Are they gonna get caught? Are they gonna get found out?
I want to know. I want to know what happens next.
We hope it doesn't get canceled and then there is a next episode. But I was very shocked that he came out as a North Korea spy. I really thought that he would be a protester, like they were saying.
I felt like it would make more sense if he was.
I think there wouldn't be so much controversy about the show right now if they would have just made him a protester.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people's problems with the show is that it seems like they're misappropriating history.
And then romanticizing it.
Back in the 80s, protesters, they were wrongly accused as North Korea spies. That's the excuse the Korean CIA, which is the ANSP, used that as an excuse that these people are North Korea spies in order to kidnap and torture and kill these protesters. And it took decades for these families of the victims and the victims themselves to be vindicated. So it's making a lot of Koreans who have been through that very angry. And I understand.
Because in a way it justifies what the Korean CIA was doing. As Emily turns out to be an actual communist spy.
And I know that this is written as a fiction, as a K-drama, but if you are gonna set your fiction within such a tumultuous, important year in Korean history, you can't just say, oh, we're just gonna make up whatever. You kind of have to go along with that. Because if you weren't gonna do that, why not just set it in another year that's not so important to the people of Korea? I do love the story for what it is. But in light of that, what do you think of the story overall?
I really appreciate the production quality of the show. I think that it's a really well-made K-drama. It has a lot of money that was put into it, and I could tell that it was a lot of hard work in producing it in terms of the set, attention to details on the costume and just making the visuals look really good. Overall, it met my expectations of what I was expecting in the first 2 episodes. I'm still looking forward to see what's going to happen next.
And one thing I'm trying to keep in mind is that we've only seen the first 2 episodes. So there's a lot of story that we don't know yet. So I'm thinking and hoping that maybe down the line they'll do something to redeem themselves historically. Maybe the producers are like, wait, we're not doing people wrong. Just watch. Because there are a lot of big names in this show. For them to have picked this show, I kind of want to give the show the benefit of the doubt that maybe later on there is some kind of redemption going on. Because I don't see why these big actors and even Jisoo, who has idol status, would pick a show of this type that's so controversial to do.
We have hopes.
I have hope because I am invested in this drama now. I do love the set. The set design is amazing. I love all the retro things that show up.
Yes.
Like with the cassette player and...
I like how the cafe was set up.
Yes, the cafe was really cute.
All of the furniture, like in the dorms too. I feel like the dorm, like from the outside of it, it gives me like a castle vibe.
Oh, like kind of like Harry Potter-esque.
Yes.
Because they're in a dorm.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love this drama because it brings back memories for me. I lived in a girls' dorm before, so I kind of know what it's like to have girls around all the time doing crazy stuff. So I think it's a really sweet story, hopefully, in the end. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this will be canceled? Do you guys think this show should go on?
If you stay with us till this point, make sure you leave a snowflake emoji down in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it.
If it's your first time here, welcome, and we hope that you subscribe to our channel to join the PLEB family.
And make sure you ring the notification bell so you get all future updates from our channel.
Because we're going to continue making reviews of each episode as long as it doesn't get canceled.
Stay tuned.
Find us on Instagram for more exclusive PLEB and Nameless content. Thanks for spending a part of your day with us.
And see you next time on
Lifestyle of the
PLEB
PLEB
and Nameless. A lifestyle deserving acknowledgement.
Bye.
Bye.